Ladies and gentlemen, I am not Emmanuel Macron. I'm sorry. But well, I'm going to read a speech he sent this morning to you. And it starts by, my dear friends, I'm happy to and proud to receive on behalf of France your annual award for peace and security. I wanted to take the time to tell you this warmly through this message, read aloud. This oral reading remains, in these times of artificial intelligence, perhaps the most revolutionary of practices, the best guarantee against deepfakes. I say this with a bit of humor, but ultimately these are the real issues: the regulation of our digital order and the governance of artificial intelligence. Indeed, I believe that our heritage of political modernity, the foundation of our Western democracies, is threatened at its very core. The conception of individual political rights, inherited from the 18th century liberal philosophy, and our Declaration of the Rights of Man and the Citizen, was based precisely on the guarantee of rights, a corpus of norms to organize public space, verification procedures, and ultimately a debate among citizens guided by a spirit of rationality. All this presupposed a shared conception of progress, supported by science as an authority, faith in the human spirit to understand the world's rationality, and the quest to elucidate reality through the efforts of collective wills. Alas, it suffices to open any social network to observe that this conception is no longer prevalent. We have moved from the reign of facts to that of opinions, an immense contestation of the very forms that sustain our public debate. This ranges from the conditions of producing free and rational information to the questioning of all authority and hierarchy in knowledge, a form of anomie that is the vector of all regressions, conspiracy theories, paranoia, leveling of knowledge. We are experiencing a great digital shift in which we see immense progress, of course, but also significant deviations, criminal activities, a neglect of digital order, allowing the proliferation of hate speech and sometimes incitement to terrorism. In response, France has, for the past 7 years, consistently sought to build coalitions to regulate the digital order. This has been true both in Europe, where we have very concretely implemented mechanisms to compel major platforms to remove contentious content, and globally, with the Christchurch call to promote this simple idea: what is illegal in real life must be illegal online. A better regulated digital world is a prerequisite for peace in our societies. Beyond the fight against these criminal deviations, the great battles are still ahead of us, for we must also rethink our methods of information production in light of the contestation of the democratic model and the dilution of science and rationality. All this, too, in a context where the emergence of artificial intelligence is impacting all these subjects anew. Because AI, as I mentioned in the introduction with deepfakes, is a formidable accelerator of hostile practices, a powerful disruptor of our reference points, an incredible playground for those who wish to destabilize our democracies. Above all, it is a great threat against the peace and stability of the world. Fundamentally, the question is whether these tremendous revolutions, the digital transformation and artificial intelligence, will allow us to invent new enlightenments or will definitely erase a French and European humanism. I believe that we all have an interest in maintaining both composure and reason in the face of artificial intelligence, often described in Promethean terms. We must build a collective agenda to democratize artificial intelligence, make it more sustainable for environmental and social perspectives, and create inclusive governance that brings together all countries and all stakeholders who need to be involved, social partners, artists, even teachers. It involves articulating responses to risks and support for innovation. It is now that the destiny of the next cycle of innovation is being decided, and beyond that, the face of our societies for our children. This is why I invite you all to Paris for our summit for action on AI in February. Economic actors, decision makers, thinkers, we must create global consensus and make decisions at the right pace and on the right scale. In this regard, the quest for the enlightenment on a global scale can only resonate in France in this pursuit of progress against all forms of obscurantism. I believe in our collective capacity to put technology at the service of protecting our democracies and to forge a new era of prosperity, freedom, and stability in the world. I believe, like you, that we cannot and must not renounce our humanism and our enlightenment ideals for the coming century. Thank you all for your unwavering commitment. Thank you for this award, which honors France and compels us to act collectively starting this February in Paris. Merci beaucoup.